Hello everyone and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports, and today we're going to be talking about next gen box. And I thought that we've seen so many good players and so many standout performances throughout the Super Rugby Unlocked campaign, and one thing that has stuck out to me is how many good youngsters we have, and we inevitably always do. I mean, as the country which just produced pretty much the most professional rugby players out of anywhere in the world, the best schoolboy rugby system, it's inevitable that we just continuously just churn our talent, really. And so I thought I would have a look at building a Springbok side 1 to 23 of players who are currently 23 years or younger, who are going to be sort of the next generation of Springboks, and sort of see where we are as a Springbok, as a nation. And because obviously we're not watching a lot of Super Rugby Unlocked, I'm limited to only players currently playing within South Africa in the Super Rugby Unlocked. And as I said, players that have to be 23 or younger currently. And you'll be surprised the amount of players, and some of the really well-established players who are still so young when we look at the list itself. Before we go into the team, please do consider subscribing. Bottom right-hand corner there, smash like as well. Jump in the comments. I want to know what you think of this team. I want to know which changes you would make, which players you'd bring in. It was quite a difficult team to choose, I must admit, which is a really, really good thing in terms of the depth within South Africa. And I think that with the move to overseas, hopefully it's a case of us being able to keep these players, because I think, it's never been an issue of talent when it comes down to the players in the unions. But the problem is that, so many players are currently overseas, and when you think of all the sort of, like a team like the Lions, who have lost so many vital players to overseas clubs, who then became vital parts of the Springboks. You've got Fafaf de Klerk, Franco Master, Etzebeth overseas, Archer Snyman overseas, just all the best sort of our top players are based overseas. And hopefully with this move overseas to the Pro 16, the idea is that with the currency, with renewed revenue, we can begin to try and keep these players within South Africa. But this is the team I have selected. And a couple of very interesting calls and a couple of players who I think are unlucky to miss out. But what I've done is I've tried to look at a team which is sort of based on current performances at the moment, a bit of experience in terms of Super Rugby, in terms of playing Currie Cup, as well as on current form, And look, there's a couple of players that I think that do miss out, and there's a couple of players who will probably jump in here quite quickly. But if you look at it, so Simpiwe Mantanzima is the big exception, and I'll say exception because he hasn't played in Super Rugby Unlocked. He is currently injured. He was ruled out for 9 months in August, but before then, at the beginning of the year, he was playing very, very good rugby, and I think there's no doubt he is a very, very good candidate for the future Springbok loosehead. I've got Johan Kobelaar at hooker, a couple of decent hookers in and around South Africa. I think a big thing is I've put Dylan Richardson in at flank, and I'll get there in a moment. I'll go with Johan Kobelaar. I think Dan Joost is playing some very nice rugby. But on the base of things, I think Kobelaar is just a bit better at the moment. But I think Dan Joost could very well overtake him if he continues playing like he is. So that's why I've got him on the bench. The Locks pretty much picked themselves, although a very good case to be made for JJ van der Mesch, who is playing a lot better. But Salman Murat, Ruan Nokia both become very, very key figures, both within the Stormers and the Bulls. And I think Salman Murat would probably captain the side as well. Although Kobelaar has also had some experience captaining a side there. But I'm particularly impressed with Salman Murat. I think he's such a physical player. He's a hard worker. He's a typical lock. He does all the hard yards. They're both very handy in the line-out. And I think that could be a very, very good Springbok lock pair for many years to come, to be honest. Then I've gone to Richardson at number 6, because I think that I personally think he's a better flank than he is a hooker. I know that the Sharks were sort of very much trying to get him to become a hooker because of probably a little bit of depth there, missing there. But with Dan Joost now sort of stepping up and stuff like that, you've already seen him being moved back to the flank, and that's where I think he's the best, to be honest. I think he can become a very, very good number 6. He's very good at ruck time. He's very physical, and sometimes he struggles a bit with line-out duties, which is why Dan Joost was brought in to help the Sharks with their set pieces, which is why I think Dylan Richardson, for me, probably fits better off the flank. At number 7, I've got Vincent Chatuka, played some very good rugby for a while now. Had a quiet last couple of games, but a very exciting talent, sort of burst onto the scene for the Lions, and just has yet to look uncomfortable at any sort of level, and has been recognised, and I think Ulrich Lowe has been playing particularly well for the Bulls, and it was a very sort of big but the reason I went with Chatuka, I just think he's played for a bit longer and made a bit more of an impact so far. I think Ulrich Lowe has been terrific, and I think that You know, Alvaro is also a very nice versatile player, as is Ruan Lokia. So I think we've got a nice blend of talent and ability as well as versatility, which comes with being long players. They haven't really sort of settled into a position just yet. The number 8, Joano Augustus, a physical freak, and I thought he was much better over the weekend. You know, he was really starting to use his physicality, get around the park, make some big towering runs. You know, he is such an athletic person. And good to see him getting back to his best. Number 9, Sanela Hamba starts for me, and he will partner Kern Bosch, who is still just 23 years old. I just think that, you know, you look at Bosch and David Williamson. Bosch to me still sort of, for me, is the more natural number 10. And I think I really like David Williamson at 15. I think that when he's got space to run, when he can attack the line, when he can really sort of have time to counter attack, that's where he is at his best. So I've got David Williamson at 15. Yao Penke at 11, working really hard. Now back at the Sharks, where I think if they can try and secure a permanent move, they will just grow and become a really good player. There are a lot of up-and-coming young wings, which is really good to see. Centre, I've got Rick Pretorius, played a very good game this weekend, and he is sort of stepping up. He was a vital player at SA under-20, and partnering up Wandisile Similani, I think they will make a very good combination. And again, that could, you know, we talk about this as the next gen of Springboks. You know, I think a lot of these, you know, you see combinations there, which I think would work very well. I think Rick Pretorius, I want to see the Similani, is one. And then Steven Pienaar at 14, he's back with the Lions. I don't quite know where he was, what the story was, but he is a very difficult player to bring down. You saw him absolutely decimate David Creel yesterday, and he's become a very good player for the Lions. And what people don't realize, he's quite young, but maybe not the most orthodox wing in terms of just an out-and-out finisher, but he's very strong with the ball. He's one of those players that look for work, and he's quite industrious on defense. So I've gone with him there. And the bench, as we said, Dan Euster, Leon Lyons playing some nice rugby at the Stormers. And then I've got Asanati Nklabakanya at tight off the bench. And I think any Lions fans or any SN20 fans will understand that this guy is a serious talent. And I think the only reason we haven't seen him at the Lions yet is because you've got the likes of Carly Sardi, Ruan Dre, and Yanni Duplessis ahead of him in the pecking order. But he was tremendous for that in the Under-21 Championship. And it's literally a matter of time before he starts making a step up and playing at the highest level. I think he will provide some very good competition for Carly Sardi. JJ Van der Mesh and Alric Low round out the rest of the pack. Van der Mesh is a very big player, very physical. And Alric Low is nice and versatile, a hard worker, and will be a very good impact off the bench. You know, you've got two big players who can come on and offer a lot, sort of in the last 20 minutes if you need to. The reserve scrum half was difficult because there's a lot of good young scrum halves. I think Jane Hendricks is one that I would like to see hopefully more of in the next year. But Morley van den Berg's playing very nicely for the Lions. I was very tempted to go with him, but I just think, you know, you look at Zach Berg, he's captaining the Greek Quiz, he's putting in some fantastic performances. He was fantastic against the Bulls in the opening round. Was very good this last weekend, and he's in a Greek side which is not necessarily on the same level. He continues to stand out, and that's why he's on the bench for me. I'll go with Stemen Gans at the reserve. They can cover centre, and you know, with 7's experience, you can probably cover an outside back. And then Gianni Lombard covers full back, covers flower half, and can probably play anywhere sort of in the outside backs as well. So a lot of versatility and excitement coming with the bench. And I think if you look at Stemen Gans and Lombard, very exciting attacking players. So if you need to chase a game, definitely players that you can rely on. But Gianni Lombard's also got a very big boot, very good boot, and can definitely be brought on to try and see a game out as well. So that's the team I've gone with. Let me know in the comments what you think, whether you agree, what changes you would make, anyone big that I've missed out, that you think I've missed out. Let me know in the comments below. I'm always interested to see what everybody else thinking is. Thank you very much for watching. As I said, please do consider subscribing. Bottom right hand corner there, do smash like as well. Jump in the comments, let me know what you think of the video. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you very soon.